This is Reggie. Today, his tenancy has come to an end. Lucy, his landlord, has always been fair, treated him well, and fixed things on time.
Okay.
So Reggie wants to do the right thing and leave the property exactly how he found it, spotless. Lucy, being typical helpful Lucy, even sends him a list of her recommended cleaners. But Reggie decides to be independent. He browses online, reads a few reviews, and picks a local crew he feels comfortable with. They arrive. They work like a pit crew, efficient, silent, no wasted motion. They clean, they leave. Reggie taps his card on their portable reader, $300. He looks back at the apartment one last time. It smells like lemon, bleach, and fresh starts. Money well spent. Reggie gets to his car, ready to move on with his life. But as he grips the steering wheel, his brain stops. He replays the last 2 hours. Wait, that cost $300? For a studio apartment? For 2 hours of work? Reggie sits in silence for 5 full minutes. The engine idles, but he doesn't move. The math is screaming at him. And then he comes to one shocking realization. Reggie gets to his temporary accommodation. He doesn't unpack his clothes. He doesn't set up his TV. He puts on the coffee maker. He grabs a yellow legal pad and a cheap pen. Because Reggie isn't just moving house anymore. He's about to calculate a risk. Reggie does the math. The bill was $300. There were 2 cleaners. They were there for 2 hours. That means the total labor was 4 hours. 300 divided by 4 is $75 an hour. Reggie looks at his own payslip from his 9 to 5. He thinks about the fluorescent lights, the commute, the boss breathing down his neck. He makes $20 an hour. These guys, with just a bucket and a vacuum and 0 college degree required, are making nearly 4 times his hourly wage. But Reggie is skeptical. He's a realist. Maybe he just got ripped off. Maybe typical Lucy's recommendation was the most expensive premium service in town. He needs to verify the market. This is the calculated risk. He can't build a business on a guess. He calls 3 local competitors, pretending to be a customer looking for an end-of-tenancy clean. He calls competitor A. The phone rings and rings. It rings for a solid minute before going to a full voicemail box. That's not just a missed call. That's money left on the table. It's unprofessional. It's lazy. And for Reggie, it's blood in the water. He calls competitor B. They answer instantly, but it's not a cleaner. It's a call center script read by a robot in a different time zone. They try to upsell him on eco-friendly enzyme sprays and upholstery protection he didn't ask for. The final quote? $450. Now the $300 feels cheap. It feels like a bargain. He calls competitor C. They answer, but they sound exhausted. They tell him they are fully booked for 3 weeks. They don't even need his business. Reggie puts the phone down. The market is telling him 3 things. 1, people are charging high prices and getting away with it. 2, demand is high. Companies are turning money away because they are too busy to take it. And 3, the bar for customer service is on the floor. Reggie realizes the gap. If he enters the market at $250, he is cheaper than the big guys, but still making over $60 an hour if he does it solo. The math works. The demand is there. But now comes the hard part. He needs the gear. But he isn't going to spend thousands like the other guys. He's going to do this the smart way. Reggie heads to the hardware store. The smell of sawdust and potential hits him, and immediately he faces the trap that kills most new businesses, ego. He stops in front of a massive industrial carpet cleaner. It's yellow, it's chrome, it looks like it could suck the paint off a car. It screams professional. Next to it, a pressure washer with a turbo nozzle that costs more than his first car. His brain whispers the lie every entrepreneur hears. If you buy the pro gear, you become the pro. But Reggie remembers the math. He is currently minus $300 from his own deposit. He cannot afford to be minus another $1,000. He decides to go with the MVP approach, minimum viable product. He doesn't need the best gear. He needs gear that works. He walks past the shiny displays to the clearance aisle. He grabs a refurbished cylinder vacuum. It's ugly, it's scratched, it looks like it survived the 90s, but when he tests it, it has suction power that could lift a bowling ball. That's all that matters. He grabs a multi-pack of microfiber cloths, generic brand, because he knows he's going to ruin them with grease and dust anyway. Why buy premium just to destroy it? He spends the most on the chemicals, heavy-duty oven degreaser and industrial bleach, because in this game, the chemical does the hard work, not the machine. He finishes with a mop, a bucket, and a sturdy squeegee. Total damage at the register, $105. He is now fully equipped. Gear is useless without a name. He goes home and opens his laptop on his kitchen table. He registers Fresh Start Cleaning. He doesn't hire a designer. He uses a free logo maker to slap a green leaf next to some bold text. It's not winning any design awards, but it's legible. He sets up a Google business profile, uploading a free stock photo of a sparkling living room so he actually exists on maps. He verifies his phone number. It takes him 20 minutes. Cost, $0. Reggie is now a business owner. He has the equipment, he has the name, he has the digital footprint. But he has a problem, a big one. The phone isn't ringing. Pause for a second. Did you notice what Reggie didn't do? He didn't spend 3 weeks trying to come up with a catchy name or a pun. He didn't pay a graphic designer $500 for a logo or wait for revisions. And he definitely didn't file for a registered entity yet. Why? Because most people use business admin as a shield against the real work. They spend weeks debating between navy blue and royal blue for a logo nobody has seen. They scour GoDaddy for the perfect .com domain. They read forum posts about tax efficiency for $0 of revenue. They aren't building a business, they're role-playing a CEO. They're hiding. Reggie knows the truth. You don't need a tax ID to clean a toilet. You don't need a trademark to wipe a window. Until you have a paying customer, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. Don't let the paperwork kill the profit before you've even started. So Reggie is legal enough to start. He has the gear, he has the will, but he's missing the only thing that actually matters: customers. Reggie tries the old school way first. He buys a ream of paper and sets his home printer to draft mode to save ink. It jams 3 times. He spends his Saturday walking 6 miles of pavement, shoving paper through letterboxes that snap shut on his fingers. Result? 0 calls, not 1. He watches a homeowner gardening. He smiles and offers a flyer. She looks at it, then at him with a look that says, "Please go away," walks 2 steps and drops it directly into a trash can already full of other people's dreams. Reggie realizes the problem. Homeowners already have cleaners, or they clean themselves. Convincing them is like pulling teeth. He is fishing for minnows with a broken net. He needs to stop looking for people. He needs to look for contracts. He changes targets. Who controls the empty houses? Who has to clean them to get their commission? Estate agents and property managers. He realizes that hunting homeowners is retail, but hunting agents is wholesale. A homeowner needs a cleaner once a year when they move. An estate agent needs a cleaner 5 times a month. He doesn't need 1,000 customers. He needs 3 partners. These are whales. One relationship here isn't just one job. It's a pipeline of jobs for the next 5 years. But walking into a corporate office is scary. Reggie is just a guy with a bucket and a cheap polo shirt. They're professionals in suits and glass offices. Reggie doesn't speak corporate. He gets anxiety just thinking about the pitch. He types an email, deletes it. Types it again, deletes it. He feels out of his depth. So he outsources his confidence. He opens an AI tool and prompts it, "Write a cold email to a property manager. Tone, reliable, not desperate. Focus on solving their headache." He isn't asking for a job. He's offering a solution to their pain. The pitch is simple. "I know your current cleaners flake on you. I don't. Send me to your worst property. I'll clean it for 50% off. If you don't like it, you don't pay the other 50%. He sends 20 emails into the void. Nothing. He walks into the first estate agent's office. It's sterile and cold. The receptionist doesn't even look up from her screen. She just waves him away like a fly. He walks into a second office. They tell him to leave a card. which he knows goes straight in the recycling bin the second the door closes. But the third one, it's chaotic. Phones are ringing. The manager looks stressed. He's rubbing his temples. His usual cleaner just canceled on a move-out due today. Reggie is standing right there. The manager hands him a key and an address. If it's not done by 4 p.m., don't come back. Reggie runs to his car. The game is on. Stop. Look at that key. Right now, half of you are thinking, oh, come on, that's just lucky break. What are the odds a manager needed a cleaner right at that second? You're right, it was a lucky break. But here's the math of luck. If Reggie stayed home and emailed, his probability of this happening was 0. If he visited one office, his probability was 1%. But Reggie put himself in 20 rooms. He showed his face. He showed willingness. When you increase your surface area, stray opportunities simply hit you more often. Reggie didn't get the job because he was the best cleaner. He got the job because when the problem appeared, he was the only solution standing in the room. The manager didn't hire a company, he hired a guy who showed up. But now the talking is over. It's 12 p.m. The deadline is 4 p.m. If Reggie misses a spot, he doesn't just lose the money, he loses the reputation he hasn't even built yet. Reggie gets to work. And here is the truth about easy money. It's usually hard work. The vacuum roars to life, sucking up dust that's been settling for years. The squeegee glides over the glass, wiping away the city grime in one satisfying stroke. The oven is a nightmare, a crime scene of burnt grease and melted cheese. Reggie sprays the heavy-duty degreaser. The fumes hit the back of his throat. He watches the black grime dissolve into sludge. He scrubs until his knuckles are raw and his arm aches. He sweats through his shirt. There's no AI to scrub the floor for him. It's just friction and effort. The water in his bucket turns from crystal clear to a murky gray soup, the color of a stormy sky. But at 3:45 p.m., the place doesn't look like a rental anymore. It looks like a showroom. He snaps a photo, not for Instagram, for proof. He walks back to the office. He doesn't just say, I'm done. He shows the evidence. The manager nods. The trust is built. Now, Reggie could have asked for cash, but he wants to be a business, not just a side hustle. He sends a professional digital invoice right there in the office. Since he promised 50% off for the first trial, the bill is $125. The manager pays it from the petty cash card. Reggie walks out. He is tired. He smells like bleach and ammonia, but his phone screen says paid. Let's look at the damage. He draws a line down the whiteboard. On the left, expenses. He spent $105 on gear plus $10 on gas. Total cost, $115. On the right, revenue. He made $125 back on day one. Technically, his net profit is only $10. If you calculate his hourly rate for today, he worked for pennies. A teenager delivering pizzas makes better money. The poor mindset looks at that $10 and quits. It says this isn't worth the effort. But rich thinking looks at the asset. That one job wasn't about the money. It was an interview. It was a customer acquisition cost. Because 10 minutes later, the manager texted him, 2 more houses on Monday, full price. That is $500 of revenue locked in for next week. Reggie solved his immediate problem. He has cash flow. He has a business. But there's a problem. If Reggie keeps scrubbing toilets himself, he hasn't built freedom. He's just bought himself a dirty job. The goal of your big idea isn't to work until you die. It's to build assets. So what should Reggie do with next week's $500 profit? Should he buy a better vacuum, or should he buy a machine that makes money while he sleeps? Click here to see Reggie take his cleaning money and what he does with it next. Class dismissed.